ET Ryan Seacrest here. People always say it's good to unwind, but that's easier said than done. The exception, Chumba Casino. They actually make it easier done than said, or at least the same. Chumba Casino is an online social casino with hundreds of casino-style games like slots and blackjack. Play for fun. Play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sign up now and collect your free welcome bonus at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody walks into the elevator and says,
Happy Friday!
Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.
Around Dodge City and in the territory on West, there's just one way to handle the killers and the spoilers, and that's with a U.S. Marshal and the smell of Gunsmoke. Gunsmoke, starring William Conrad. The transcribed story of the violence that moved west with young America. And the story of a man who moved with it.
I'm that man. Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful. And a little lonely.
Cussed smart alecs make me so mad. Act like they think about he ain't got a lick of sense in his head. Honest and truth. Honest. I swear to goodness, Mr. Dillon, there's times a man's got to choke his words right back down in his craw to keep from starting up a ruckus.
Oh, what's the trouble, Chester?
What? There's a fellow over at the Dodge House, a traveling drummer out of Baltimore, and you know what he said?
Now what'd he say?
He said they got a railroad train over there in England somewheres that goes 150 miles in 3 hours flat.
Oh, is that so?
He said they'll have trains like that here one of these days, going clean across the country. In 30 or 40 years, according to him, a man can get on one in New York City and get off a week later in San Francisco.
You don't say.
Well, now, you don't believe that, do you, Mr. Dillon?
Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, Chester.
Well, I don't believe it. A human body just ain't built to go that fast. It'd get a man's innards all out of whack, choke him to death trying to breathe.
Maybe.
The good Lord wanted a man to go 50 miles an hour.
He'd have put wheels on him.
Well, yeah. Good morning, Matt. Chester.
Oh, come on in, Doc.
Oh, my, I just been at the livery stable, Matt.
Well, what's the matter? Is Ma sick?
No, it's old Crowbait Bob. Moss Grimmick's been letting him sleep in the hayloft in return for helping with the chores.
Yeah, I heard he has.
Well, old Crowbait took sick in the night sometime. He couldn't get up this morning.
Well, what's wrong with him?
Yeah, nothing that 30 years off his age wouldn't cure. And 1,000 or so less bottles of rot-gut whiskey.
Well, if he's sick, we ought to get him out of that hayloft.
Well, but I can't figure any place to move him. He wants to see you, Matt. Right away.
See me? What for?
Well, I wouldn't say. But he claims it's mighty important. It's something he wants to do before he dies.
Before he dies?
I'm just trying to make him comfortable, Matt. That's all I can do.
far as I'm concerned, Marshal, you're the only man in Dodge City that's worth a hoot and a holler. Except Moss Grimmick. Why, but for him and... Marshal, I'm a gol-darn liar.
Oh, what do you mean, Bob?
Oh, there's lots of nice folks here. Of course there is. I reckon the only ones I'm really talking about is that highfalutin niece of mine and that sneaky old husband of hers.
You know, I was wondering, Bob, if maybe we ought to let Ruth and Elbin know about your being sick this
No,
week.
sir, no. Let them know nothing. Let them sit out there in the precious ranch and rot. They ain't showed me no care for years.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you, I guess.
Marshal, the reason I sent for you is because I want to make my will.
Make a will?
No, I know. It don't seem likely a worthless old coot like me would have a reason to, but that's where you're wrong.
Well, Bob, I'll do whatever I can, you know that.
I only got one thing to leave. Let's see, it's here. Yes, it's right here in this here leather box. I want you to take care of it for me, Marshal. See that it ain't open till after I'm gone.
Ah, Bob, that'll probably be years soon.
Oh, no, you don't. No. Doc's trying to fool me, too, but I know where I stand.
All right, Bob, I'll take care of it for you. Look, Doc's gone after a rig, and we're going to move you over to the jail, huh? At least you'll be warm there, and there'll be somebody with you. And I'll write up a will of some kind, and you can sign it.
Yeah, I'm much obliged to you, Marshal. That there box is mighty valuable. And I want to be sure the right party gets it.
Sure. Who does it go to, Bob?
It goes to Miss Kitty.
What? Kitty Russell?
Yep. Yeah, she's a fine girl, Marshal. Just a gol-darned angel, that's what she is. Just a gol-darned angel.
I've been looking for you, Matt.
Hello, Kitty. How does it feel to be an heiress?
Oh, stop it. That's all I've been hearing for the last 3 hours. How's the old man, Matt?
We got him moved over to the jail, Kitty. Fixed up a cell for him, and Chester's staying there this evening to look after him.
Must be terrible to know you're dying. Be all alone like that with nobody of your own.
Yeah. I asked him about sending for his niece, Ruth Gudler, and her husband, but he was dead set against that.
And I don't blame him. Not the way they've treated him.
Yeah. It seems like they might have done something for him.
They could have found a place for him out there in the ranch. So he drank too much. Maybe he had a reason to drink.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he is worthless. But he never meant any harm to anyone.
No. Crowbait's all right. I didn't know that you and him were so thick, though.
I treated him like a human being, that's all.
No.
Good evening, Mac. Kitty.
Hello, Doc.
Well, Kitty, I hear you're about to inherit $1 million.
That's foolishness, Doc. Old Bob never had 2 quarters to rub together.
Never can tell now.
Well, at least you get it, Kitty, whatever it is.
Oh, I wish he hadn't done it, Matt. I didn't expect any payment.
Payment for what?
Nothing. Forget it.
Mac, you mean you didn't know?
Didn't know what,
Doc,
Doc?
you keep quiet
Where
now.
do you think Crowbait's been getting his meals?
I suppose Moss at the delivery stable was feeding him.
Moss has been letting him sleep there is all.
Doc, if you don't...
Why,
hush-
Kitty's been feeding him for the last 2 years.
Kitty, is this true?
All right. What of it? They waste enough food here in a Long Branch to feed 10 men like him. Didn't cost me anything. It was just... Oh, come on, let's have a drink.
Well, how's it going, Chester?
Fine, Mr. Dillon. We got visitors.
Huh? Oh, good evening, Miss Cutler. Alvin. What brings you people into town?
You know dang well what brings us, Marshal.
Poor Uncle Robert laying back there sick to his death, maybe. And this upstart saying we can't see him.
Upstart? Well, I'll be
Now,
switched
just
if I'm
take
gonna
it
sit here
easy,
and take
Chester.
sass.
Take it easy. Poor old Uncle Robert. Would that be Crowbait Bob by any chance?
Marshal, now you're insulting a dear relative of my wife.
What a thing to call Uncle Robert. Why, we had no idea he was took down and ailing this way.
No, I don't suppose you did, since you haven't spoken to him in the last 5 years.
Well, that was just a family misunderstanding, Marshal.
When one's own kin is took bad sick, a body'd be mighty heartless if they didn't let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, sure.
Why, I even brung him some nice chicken broth and baked him an egg custard pie.
That's real thoughtful of you, Miss Cutler. You must have heard the rumors.
Rumors?
About him turning out to be wealthy.
Why, we haven't
That
heard
dance
a thing
hall
about-
girl ain't getting 1 cent, Marshal. No, sir. We'll take her to court.
Why don't you do that, Alvin, if you know some way of beating a legal will?
Well, he was out of his mind.
Doc and I'll say different.
We demand to see him. Right this minute.
I'm sorry. He left orders against it.
Well, then take that food back to him and tell him who brung it. That'll change his mind.
All right. Chester.
Yes, sir.
Take this back to the cell, will you?
All right. He was asleep for a little while.
Well, if he's asleep, just leave him.
All right, sir.
You be sure and tell him we brung it.
Oh, I'll hire a brass band and tell the whole country.
Now, Marshal, you know that's a terrible thing. A woman like that to undermine a man's feelings for his own kinfolk.
Look, Alvin, if you want to do something for him, why don't you pay off some of his bills around town?
Pay off his bill.
That's right. $10 or $15 to Moss Grimmick, 20 or so to Wilbur Jonas at the general store.
Why don't he pay him himself if he's got
Now,
all
wait
that
a minute,
money?
Ruth. You might just make him stop and think twice if we was to pay him off.
Pay out good money on bills that worthless old
shut
coot
up,
rat-
Ruth. All righty, Marshal. We won't bother you no longer. We'll be going now.
Kelvin, what are you
Come
talking
on,
about?
Ruth. Good night, Marshal.
Mr. Dillon,
Huh? What's wrong, Chester?
we better find Doc in a hurry, Mr. Dillon. That old man don't look too good. It's a mighty good pie, Mr. Dillon, even if old Miss Gudler did bake it.
Yeah, it looks real good, Chester.
Makes a man feel kind of funny eating it, though.
No?
Well, I reckon old Crowbait wouldn't want it to go to waste.
No, I don't think you would.
I wonder what is in that box, Mr. Dillon.
I don't know. We'll find out as soon as Kitty comes over.
Died in his sleep, Doc said. Peaceful as anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you really ain't gonna eat that last peach pie,
I haven't eaten any of it, Chester. Well, why don't you finish it? Huh?
yeah, it oughtn't to go to waste, ought it?
No. Oh, Kitty. Kitty, come on in.
Doc told me, Matt. I'm real sorry.
Yeah, I know, Kitty.
Poor old fella. Well, I hope he had a good life somewhere back along the line. His last years sure weren't very happy.
No. Well, here's a box, Kitty. It's all yours.
I wish he hadn't done it, Matt.
Why not?
Oh, I don't know. Looks like I did things for him just because I expected something. I just felt sorry for him, that's all.
Well, I wouldn't count any chickens ahead of time if
I
I were
don't
you.
even care what's in it. It's just that I...
Marshal.
Oh, come in, Alvin.
Marshal. You tricked us.
All that good hard cash paid
You
out for
folks acquainted with Miss Kitty Russell here?
I know who they are, Matt.
No. How do you figure I tricked you, Alvin?
How do I... Well, them bills are his. I paid out $86.40 in that old soak before I run into Doc, found out he'd died. And him without even knowing what we'd done for him.
You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
Oh, mighty fine talk for you, doing his kin out of what's rightfully theirs.
Oh, you beady-eyed old
Now,
goat.
take it
Why are
easy,
you
Kitty.
little hurl on us?
Take it
All else
easy.
you can do is whine.
All
for
right,
hard
settle
cash.
down! So you think I tricked you, huh, Alvin?
Well, you don't think I'd have paid them bills if I'd knowed he was that far gone.
I thought I was giving you a chance to do something decent for once in your lives.
We ain't responsible for his debts.
No, not legally.
Well, now
you're
he's
not.
gone and died. He left all his wealth to this here woman.
The way I hear, that box is full of diamonds and emeralds.
Whatever it's full of, it belongs to Kitty, so you may as well forget it.
Forget it. When a fortune that's rightfully ours is laying right there on that table and about to slip through our fingers, you get your hands up, Marshal. You too, Chester.
Alvin.
Alvin, that was a real foolish move you just made.
You know.
Now, you hand over the gun.
Stay back, Marshal. I'll shoot.
Alvin, I said hand over the gun.
Marshal, so help me, if you take one more thrust...
You hit him. You hit Alvin.
All right, drag him back and lock him up, Chester.
Yes, Mr. Dillon. All right, come on.
You're locking up Alvin.
Assault with a deadly weapon. Judge Brent will figure it's worth about $100 in good, hard cash, Miss Cutler. And court's at 10 in the morning if you want to be there.
But what'll I do tonight?
Why don't you get yourself a room over at the Dodge House and meditate on your sins?
My sin.
Good night, Miss Cutler.
Oh.
Well, now I suppose you want to take a look at your diamonds and emeralds, huh, Kitty?
Can't we just burn it, Matt? Not even open it?
Crowbait wouldn't have wanted you to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Anyhow, you got too much curiosity to do something like that, and you know it.
Well, you win, Matt.
Okay, let's see now. Yeah, I guess if we break the seal on the catch. There we go.
Matt, it's full of banknotes.
Yeah. Confederate banknotes, Kitty.
Well, what do you know? You suppose he thought they might fight the war over again someday, Matt?
Maybe. Now, wait a minute. There's something underneath it.
Oh, what is it, Matt?
It's an Army medal. Bravery in Action Field Citation. Awarded to Lieutenant Robert Danford Conroy.
So that was his name.
For conspicuous heroism during the storming of Chapultepec Heights, September 13, 1847. Signed General Winfield Scott, Commander-in-Chief, United States Expeditionary Forces in Mexico.
Here's a silver dollar, Matt.
Uh-huh. Well, at least that's worth something.
Oh, look.
It's a ribbon.
Silk hair bow. Tied to a curl. Lock of hair. Matt, I wonder who she was.
Well, whoever it was, a long time ago.
Medal, a curl, dollar. A box full of worthless paper. Story of a man's life, Matt.
Yeah. And there have been worse stories.
Well, I'll keep the curl and the medal. And you know something?
What?
We'll spend the dollar on a drink.
All right, Kitty, I think that'd please him. Come on.
Gunsmoke. Produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, stars William Conrad as Matt Dillon, U.S. Marshal. The story was specially written for Gunsmoke by Les Crutchfield, with editorial supervision by John Meston. The music was composed and conducted by Rex Corey. Sound patterns by Ray Kemper and Bill James.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.